Ah. Don't fall asleep. It's the fucking Jacket Off podcast. I'm your host, south of the border, Brent Pickard, eating some fucking quesadillas. I'm currently digesting them.
Oh, you're the host.
I don't know. We're like Kiss. Both people are hosts. There's 5 lead singers in the band. Every one of them. They got that Beth song. That's Peter Criss. And then they got Shock Me. They got the Ace Frehley. And then they got fucking Paul Stanley with everything else. And then Gene Simmons with everything else. We know who is the second bananas in that band. You know, the 2 guys that left.
Huh.
And the other 2 guys that have kept it going for 25 years.
I wonder why they left.
The same reason why eventually this podcast will be hosted by 2 completely different people that have replaced us.
Maybe, hopefully, they'll be more interesting.
Yeah. Well, actually, leading into that topic, I'd figure, you know, they'd probably replace us with like some sort of machine learning thing where it just takes all the rest of the shit we talked about and then just rehashes it. So it's just 2 3D avatars talking about stuff. Basically just like taking all the stupid shit we talk about and then making it more interesting by combining it with other things.
Do I still have to edit it?
No, that'll be done with.
All right, I'm in. All my chips are in.
Dude,
Replace me with a machine.
The next week's podcast will just be 3D floating heads. That'll just be like, "Hello, Dylan. I traveled another time this week. I went to insert state here. It was insert applicable statement about state here.
I drank, went to Starbucks and Panera."
The machine learning algorithm has already concluded that based on my previous statements about traveling, that's all that I do. So it just keeps rotating those 3 concepts. I went to Panera, Starbucks.
There was a nice beach.
At a bar. No traveling. So no one has to groan and fucking moan about that this time.
10-minute podcast now. That's all we had, Brent.
Hey,
do me a favor, go down to the Stewarts and come back and tell me about it.
Oh, you gotta see the Stewarts, dude. The Stewarts down near me is like so rednecky, and you wouldn't think that it is. Like, there's actually redneck areas around here that you'd never believe if you didn't lay your own eyes upon them. The one closest to me isn't as bad as one over across town. That gets a little sketchy every once in a while. I mean, that's every gas station in Verona. every one you go to in Verona is like, you know, maybe the 1 or 2 that exist around here where there's like, you know, salt of the earth motherfuckers going in there.
Pick up your 30 of Bud Light, throw it in the back of the pickup.
Yep. 30 of Bud Light, package of American cheese singles, loaf of Wonder Bread,
and some Seneca 100s.
Scratch offs, and some fucking, some what do you call them? Great Value Light 100s.
Seneca.
I don't even know if they do that up here, because isn't Seneca like a tribe brand? Brand?
But it's more Buffalo, isn't it?
I don't know.
Isn't that where the Seneca Casino is, in Buffalo?
My mom goes
Niagara
out
Falls.
to this place near, I want to say it's near Phoenix, or it's near like somewhere in there, and gets like cartons of cheap ass cigarettes all the time. I can't remember where it is.
Hey, Cheryl. There used to be one in Cheryl.
Yeah. This one is actually like this when I
But
went there.
Oneida doesn't do like that, like the tax-free cigarettes anymore. So
That's why the last time I went out there with my mom, it was the fucking weirdest thing ever. We drove out there and pulled into this place, and it looks like the one in Sherrill, the smoke shop in
yeah,
Sherrill, but huge. Like it's really big, and it's just like a nameless, faceless fucking storefront. And there's 5,000 cars in the parking lot. It's fucking jam packed. It looks like there's a hockey game about to start. And we pulled in, found the fucking parking spot, and people are car balleting around the whole place. There's like a drive through. My mom goes in, and she comes out with fucking, giant
a pallet.
pallet of fucking cigarettes. And I'm like, is it always like this here? It's like a fucking Wednesday. She's like, yeah, every single day it's like this because people come from almost every single county surrounding to get these cigarettes. That's how much of a death grip it has. And I was like, it makes me sad. In fairness, I feel like it's it's a little bit of a testament to like once you take something away from a group of people, like the
Like their land? What are we talking about here?
I don't want to go that far back. I don't want to start feeling guilty. Like, it ain't my fault. I didn't do it.
Oh, so just taking their cigarettes. That's cool.
They basically use other people's land now to harvest the tobacco tax free, and then use it plus a couple of other ingredients like pea and arsenic to create the rich, full flavored experience that we know today as Seneca 100s. It's where the flavor is. Now you're in flavor country.
The flavors in
flavor
the
country, meaning the counties between places where you can't buy cigarettes in bulk.
Take all your used filters, put it in some hot water, make a nice tea out of it.
Okay. I just eaten a quesadilla. I didn't need to hear that. Fucking spitty tobacco tea. So, what's going on? I feel like this is a largely unstructured experience. I didn't write any notes.
Oh no.
Oh no!
That's all we have to go on.
Another one of
notes.
those, dude. Most of the time,
I made fun of you for your notes, but they helped.
Be careful what you wish for because you end up with a garbage can of a podcast.
I don't wish
if
for
we
any
don't
of this.
Scribble 50 notes 5 minutes before we start. You gotta get the.
You ate your quesadilla instead. That's what it was. You couldn't write notes because you were eating your quesadilla.
And what I should have done was just taken like some of the I got like some like sriracha or something and just wrote some notes on the quesadilla. And then I would have remembered.
You would have.
I'd be like,
oh
yeah.
And then you would have ate your notes.
Ate it, yep. Guys, I ate the notes. I don't know what to talk about. Well, there is one thing we can talk about. Well, there's a few things.
Wow, a few things.
So last night, my mom's boyfriend calls me like out of the blue, really weird. Doesn't normally call me, and he's like, "Okay, hang on, you gotta do something for me." I'm like, "All right."
I'm not going to get you cigarettes.
He goes, "Your mother's in the other room right now. Can you call her and tell her that he's like, I want you to see her reaction. So you call her and tell her that to walk out in the living room." He's like, do like Facebook FaceTime, the Facebook Messenger video, whatever. He's like, tell her to go out into the living room, go out to the mantle and look at the shelf above the mantle. There's an envelope on there that says surprise on it. To give you a little background, he called me texted me the other week on Facebook Messenger, and he's like, so ZZ Top is coming to CMAC, and I'm thinking I'm going to buy your mom meet and greet tickets. And I was like, Oh wow. Um, this is like meet and greet level for my mom, like of like I'm gonna faint type of like hyperventilate or have a panic attack type moment.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, okay, so I printed out the tickets and I put them in an envelope and you got to tell your mom to go into the living room. So I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I got a surprise for you. Go into the living room. You open up the envelope and tell me what it says. So she opens up the envelope. She freaks the fuck out. And then, we're talking, and she's like, so, Brent, honestly, when I thought you called and you said that you had a surprise for me, I thought you were going to say that Becky was pregnant. And I was like, isn't this such a much better surprise? She's like,
get
yeah,
that shotgun wedding in.
Yeah, turns out we got to send those save the dates out right fast. In fact, let's just turn them into invitations.
I also need a sledgehammer and knock down the wall to the studio.
So yeah, she's going sometime I want to say it's like in August or September to see her heroes and idols. Billy Gibbons, Dusty, and fucking Frank Beard.
My heroes and idols are dead.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them are. Well, one that we don't get to meet, but we do get to see is Metallica, which is also a very pricey show that we had arranged. So that's gonna be fucking amazing. And of course, Ozzy. We're gonna go see Ozzy, which is also going to be fucking awesome. But the number one, or at least right now, I hope it becomes the number one, is Lost Lands. We got to figure out how that's going to go with the old pop up. I was looking online the other day, and I was like, how do we do the parking spaces for the pop up tent? Is this an RV? No, it's not an RV. I was looking through all the options. And I was like, I don't know what we should do in terms of how to work it. But I figure we get everything set up, and then this is my bachelor party. We go and listen to bass music for 3 days until we become so dehydrated, tired, and full of endorphins that we die.
Good.
And then come back, and then I get married. I feel like that'd be a good way to go. We solidified the venue for everything, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna rent out an entire bar, which is in proper fashion for really how I would imagine my reception was gonna go. I'm just gonna rent out an entire bar. Now here's the difficulty though. The problem with renting out an entire bar is that if you tell them that you want to do that, they're like, okay, so the Saturday rate is $11 billion. And then the Sunday rate is a $5,000 minimum. I was like, I think we're going to have a wedding on a Sunday. So that's the only thing, is that I think I'm going to turn a lot of people off by being like, hey, guys, save the date. It's a Sunday. Everybody's got to work on Monday, so don't have too much fun because I can't afford it. That's basically what I'm telling people when they come out to my wedding is get the fuck out at 10. I don't care what you do after that. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here type shit.
Also, leave me alone.
I don't want to do that.
Leave the blender. Take the gift bag.
Speaking of, we don't want to do a registry. That's one thing where that I could just not give two shits about. There's a strong feeling for some reason for me, like when you go to a wedding, and this is just based on how the few weddings that I've been to, I feel like everything is a fucking production, and everything is imposing, and everything is a fucking nightmare, just to get people there, get them properly dressed, and follow all fucking rules and do all the. It's like, why? What is any of that? Why does it exist? It's all horseshit. So I don't want stuff.
I'm getting you a
I don't want
blender,
to
Brent.
fill my house with garbage.
Brent, I'm getting you a blender toaster combo.
Yay! I can blend my toast into breadcrumbs. Thanks, Dylan.
Hey.
It's just it's all so gross. Like if you're gonna do that, like because the thing is, it's different. Becky and I have been together for almost 9 years. I had look, I got my house packed full to the ceiling with shit, with stuff I don't need. It's fucking under my couch. It's under my bed. It's in these cabinets. I don't even know where all of it is. And I live in a postage stamp. And I'll probably continue to live in a postage stamp. It's not like I'm going to follow the nuclear family fucking 1960s ideal of, oh, we're going to get married and then we're going to move into a house. It's like, bitch, I got $1,000 in my savings account, and that's like a lifetime achievement award. I'm not gonna have the like even after the wedding, it's gonna be like, all right, so I got to pay off some credit cards.
Now more,
Like,
now more. I gotta pay off more credit cards now that I just had that wedding.
I don't even like
That should be on your registry.
pay off my credit cards.
Pick a credit card you can pay off. Here's my Best Buy one. Here's my Walmart one. My Macy's one, because I had to buy the suit.
The only thing that I have on the wedding website right now is a house fund. I set it up with Stripe. So if people want to go in and like contribute to 50 cents or whatever they want towards my house, it'd be greatly appreciated.
I'm going to buy you a door.
Brent, I know you're not going to be able to afford anything less than a fixer fucking upper, so I bought you a door because I figured your door is going to be a piece of shit.
And brand new hinges, so don't squeak.
Here's a coupon for Lowe's for fucking window installation. You get 10% off.
Yeah, it was either it was either the door or two windows. Like, what do you want?
Do you want to be able to see, or you want people to fucking get out of your house, but not be able to get into your house?
You want people to be able to get out of your house, but raccoons not to be able to get in, all right? You need this door.
That's the thing, is it's like, after, like, I've looked, the fucking property value up here is like living in Southern fucking California. I pay $725 a month for this shit den that I'm sitting in. And if you want to hope and pray that you get a house with a mortgage that's less than that rent payment, you're going to either be waiting a long ass time, or you're going to be buying a plot of land and put a fucking modular home on it. This is the only two options.
If you get two modular homes.
Yeah, and then you just bolt them together and knock down some of them walls.
I'll get you some really big hinges, all right?
Some real, so I can swing the house out like it's still on the wheels.
Yeah, so when you and Becky have a fight,
open it up.
When you and Becky have a fight, you can split the house apart.
All right, bitch, I got enough. Put my remote. Then I just start backing away, just waving the whole time. Bye.
See you later.
I'll be over here on the fun side of the two houses we live in. I just fucking like unbolt it like it's anchored together, and you just pull the fucking pin and it just starts sliding.
Make sure you're on the right side that don't got the broken shitter.
Oh no, damn it, your side has the bathroom.
Wait, switch real quick while it's moving.
I'm fucked.
Switch.
Whatever, I'll just piss in the backyard.
You treat me like a dog anyways.
I'm just over there on my vape, just being like, fucking son of a bitch. So there's no hope. There's no hope.
Period.
And that's the end of the statement. All I know for sure is that if they said that it's a $5,000 minimum and that includes the food, this is going to be an $8 to $9,000 scenario, which is fine because where we were at before, we had put down an $800 deposit on that barn that we were going to do all this shit in, thinking, yeah, it's going to be cheaper. We're going to do it at a barn. It's going to be fine. And then you run through the numbers and it's like, oh my God, it's going to be fucking $13,000. There's no way.
There's your down payment on that house you wanted.
That's my down payment. Yep. Well, around here, if you're expected to have a 20% down payment on a home, good fucking luck getting that shit together. Like 10% down payment on a home here is $10,000 if on $100,000 house. So to expect even more than that
house in quotes.
Fucking insane. Huh?
House in quotes.
Yeah, the $100,000 house around here is like my dad's house. Over sitting on the corner next to the fucking Save-On. It's like, Dad, you got a nice house, but that shit costs you like fucking $50,000. My shit would cost $100,000 and it would be worse than your house. It would be like,
your man cave.
And here... Yeah, his even came with the man cave. That adds a value even more overshadowed by the price. I don't think I'm gonna be able to live here. That's the end game. Is like we're probably gonna get out of here and we're gonna have to fucking move somewhere where it's like, well, that's what I was talking to you, or was I talking to you about it? Yeah, I was.
I don't know.
Fucking remote working.
Oh yeah,
that was the dream. So what I got to do is I got to get the remote job,
take your pants
and then we
off.
could just live in the fucking pop-up camper, and then I just get really, really good unlimited cell phone coverage, and I could just park that bitch anywhere and work from my little fucking pop-up tent.
Oh,
and that's my job,
talking.
Dude. It's becoming more and more the American dream for those that are stuck in an area with a bunch of yuppies that drive the price of fucking houses through the roof. It's like, fuck you. I make my own money. I do what I want to do.
I'm going to live in my pop-up.
Sing the songs that I want to sing.
Turn my cell phone to a hotspot and work from that.
Yep. That's all you got to do. And then, just hopefully your shit is like, not spotty wherever you are.
Make sure you don't park in that one road where you always lose reception between the stop sign and the bus stop sign.
Yep. Don't want to park there. And not anywhere near where I am right now. Because my cell phone service in this house is the fucking nightmare. I have to use like Wi-Fi calling here on my phone in order to get any sort of reception. So yeah, it ain't gonna be over here. It ain't gonna be in Saratoga. I want to go to like South Carolina, where there's like still seasons, but it's warm, and I could just lay on the beach with my MacBook and fucking just do like remote support or something. That'd be great. That'd be. I don't have to worry about going into a fucking shit-ass office and dealing with shit-ass people. And it's like the pinnacle of mediocrity, Dylan. It's the pinnacle of mediocrity. If you ever thought, wow, my job is really horrible. Your job is great. You get to work in an office and you have I used to have my own office. I don't fucking have my own office now. I've been put in and ripped out of my own office like 500 times at my job.
Cool.
So that doesn't even fucking matter. But the sheer like, how at internet startups it's like, yeah, dude, we got like ping pong tables and fucking beer fridge. And, dude, we got the kegerator over here. Yeah, listen.
Every Friday.
Unlimited vacation time, dude.
Empire
Unlimited
Brewery.
vacation time. We got like fucking $80 bajillion from angel investors. So basically right now we crank out one shitty piece of software per month, put a shitty name on it, put a shitty logo on it, and then the rest of the time we just play ping pong and get stoned. Amen. That's what, like, think about if you get as far away from that concept I've just explained, and then that's the office that I work in. The office that I work in is like hospital lights, beige walls, no fucking cool inspirational vinyl fucking stick up artwork or fucking exposed brick or beams or fucking glass walls like all those other places. No granola bar, free granola bars in the kitchen. The best we can do is a Keurig with shitty coffee options. So fucking press the button and an old lady's diarrhea goes into the cup, and then you go back to your fucking standing desk that you begged for a year just to make it seem a little bit more like you might be working at a hip, young, fucking forward-thinking place, but you're not. Sorry. You still got fucking slate blue carpets and fucking shitty
drop ceilings,
popcorn fucking walls and drop ceilings. Oh wow, it's great walking in here every day. It's like a breath of fucking fresh air. You're just praying that the next office you move your ass into has got a window in it so you don't kill yourself. Thank God we're only 2 floors up, or I probably would have ended it already. I know I can't kill myself from that height, so there's no use in trying.
That's the spirit.
So, that's the spirit. But seriously, it's like the fact that people make fun of those type of startups, like, I'm going to work at the Googleplex, or I'm going to work for Pinterest, or fucking, Amazon head, where all those places. I'm going to work for Airbnb. And you go up into the fucking high-rise Manhattan fucking thing, and you got mid-century modern furniture, fucking sculpted chairs, and standing desks, and fucking working spaces, and people with beards, and chefs that come in once a week.
People with beards.
That's what it is, isn't it?
I don't know.
I feel like everybody makes fun of like hipster culture in the sense that like, oh ha ha ha, they want really good coffee and really good food. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you? They they want really comfortable chairs, and they want really nice working spaces. Ha ha ha. They want top of the line computers. It's like, what are you making fun of there? What are you trying to say? That like, oh, it's so it's so stupid that they want a higher standard of living and fucking cool shit to work with and on, and cool people to work with. It's like, why don't you go get your fucking caramel macchiato double fucking espresso, whatever, bitch? And it's like, yeah, it's delicious. Have you ever had one before? Have you ever drank anything else but black Keurig piss coffee? It's delicious. Have you ever brewed your own espresso at your house? It's really good. There's a reason why people do it. And it doesn't just have to be people with beards, but it could be anybody. Hipster culture is just people who are like, I want good food. Wow. Who would ever thought? Maybe I want my music to sound good. Maybe I want to know about new music. I don't want to listen to Daughtry for the rest of my fucking life. People with beards, Dylan. People with beards.
People with beards.
People with beards are going to rule the world. I got mine scruffling out right now. Already starting to feel more powerful. Starting to feel more well-respected. Got my vape. I could dude, go work for fucking Pinterest, bring your vape into work day. Come on, man. Bring your vape in. Bring your dog in, Dylan. Come on now. I can't bring my fucking stupid ass. If I had a dog, I can't bring my stupid ass dog into my fucking job at my job right now. They'd be like, that's not acceptable. You're not acceptable. This whole fucking place isn't acceptable. Then I'd storm out with my dog and start looking at remote fucking jobs online when I get home. Slowly getting poorer by the second. We fucking dream about that day, dude. I dream about it all the time. I dream about just walking up to my boss and being like, you know what? This place fucking sucks, dude. And nobody's done anything to fix it. So I'm out of here. And you suck. You suck. You're cool. You suck. Everybody dreams about it. It would be the greatest feeling in the world to be able to do that. But everybody always is like, you can't do that, dude. You don't want to be looking for a job right now. It's a terrible market. You don't want to burn that bridge, dude. It's like sometimes I can't, you can't do that.
Give me
You
the
can't.
match.
Give me the match. I'm gonna burn this bridge to the ground.
I'm gonna
And it's the
use
thing
myself as kindling for this fucking bridge. I'm lighting myself up too.
I'm gonna fucking self-immolate just to show you how much of a shit scenario this was. But the thing is, I make light of it, but it's like, is it the best job I ever had? Yes. Yes, it is. Yep. Now, what does that say? I don't know. The best job I ever had makes me want to self-immolate inside the building. Yeah. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Oftentimes, it makes me want to light myself on fire and take everybody down with me. Sure. But I think the reason why that is because it is a soul crusher. It's and the thing is that most people are like, you got a steady job in an office, dude. No. It's just as soul crushing as anything else. You can't tell me that it's not. It is. It doesn't matter what, and we all got those. We all got that job. Because some of them you're not working in an office, but it's the same shit. It's the same fucking gray walls, monotonous bullshit every single day, and people fucking sending out emails to the whole company and everybody replying all, reply all, reply all, reply all. Oh, thanks for the cake. It was delicious. Thanks for the cake. Happy birthday. Fuck you. Don't reply all. If you reply all, for every reply all that you send, I take one more self-lighting match out of my drawer and I place it on my desk. And then when people ask me what it's for, I'll just be like, nothing. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's nothing.
Then the one person comes back through with the reply all, and then they say, they don't even say anything that elicits a response. Somebody will say, ha ha, that's funny. Bitch, this isn't instant messenger. Outlook, the company Outlook, okay, is not AIM. You can't just this is not an open forum for your trap that you can't close. Just leave it alone. Don't reply all, please. It's the only one thing that's keeping me from losing it is reply alls. Here's one the other day. We hear wedding bells in the air. There's wedding bells in the air. Two of our employees are getting married, and I'm like, please God, don't let it be me. Please God, don't let it be me. Thankfully, it wasn't.
Good. That
If it
those
was
assholes
me,
weren't expecting invitations.
That's one. It just stopped me from taking the whole. It stopped me from taking the whole box of Strike Anywhere matches and placing that on my desk. Here's what they had the audacity to say about these the lovebirds that are getting married. They said, we want to get them a gift card for their wedding. Okay, cool. So you sent a targeted email. So now you have so here's what you have now. You didn't just send an email to everyone. What you did was you took a selective list of people that you wanted to send that to, one of which was me being included on that list. And then what you did was you now have a list based on the fucking send line of that email of the people that you sent it to. And if I don't contribute to this particular bullshit fucking gift card thing that they want to do, all of a sudden they're able to identify who's the a-hole. So I said, I don't care. I'm not going to give anybody any shit for the wedding. I don't, because here's the thing. One of the guys that was getting married on that list, I walked into his office one day and he's like, dude, how do you use DocuSign? I was like, it's an electronic signing thing. You press the button and to put your signatures in it. He's like, yeah, I'm applying for a loan for my honeymoon. I said, what? A loan for your honeymoon? He's like, yeah, I just figured I wanted some little extra money for when I'm going on my honeymoon. He's like, I'm applying for this loan for 10 grand. And I was like, all right, $10,000. That's not. I figured I have a nice modest honeymoon, get a loan out for $10,000. Because when I go to a honeymoon, I'm not gonna be a plebeian. I'm gonna get 10,000 fucking dollars. So we're trying to get a piddly fucking gift card for Mister. I'm gonna take out a fucking loan for my wedding, for my honeymoon.
For your honeymoon, not your wedding.
He needs he needs some money because he's real. He's gonna be real strapped for cash. I know firsthand. He's taking out a loan. Guys, you realize that, like, I don't want any of you at my wedding. I really don't. I don't want to see a single. I got probably two people. I got probably two people that I want from this fucking place at my wedding. And you're gonna send out, and I hope to Christ nobody finds out that I'm getting married, or at least the date. I'm not gonna tell a single goddamn person what the date is. Or if they ask me, I'll tell them it's the wrong one. I'll tell them it's fucking a year from now, so that they're not worried about it yet. Because I can't handle somebody handing me a fucking gift card. We just thought this would be a nice gesture. It's like, cool. I won't see you at the wedding. Bye. Fuck. Offices they're gross. They're nightmares. It's like just Comic Sans everywhere. And just like I design email signatures and people just change them so they could put fucking Times New Roman 36-point fucking font in there and put little fucking clip art, word art bullshit in there and stuff so we look like a bunch of unprofessional fucks sending out emails. SCI. It's like, wow. That's what we look like. We look like a bunch of Comic Sans fucking font looking motherfuckers. Done.
Okay.
Nobody wants to hear me rant for fucking 25 minutes about work.
It's about 25 minutes.
It's funny though.
Be laughing all the way where
I'm
you're
gonna
dumping
be
every gallon of gasoline down the hallway of that building.
Not to mention I got to commute to that fucking place too, man. I mean, that's the other thing is it's like it's not even like it's around the fucking corner. That's why remote work is the greatest fucking invention of modern society, telecommunications. It's like, I mean, at least I'm not driving to fucking Albany, dudes. There's some people that drive to Albany. I have to drive to Albany to the airport tons of times. I have to do it all the time. And to think that I haven't seen somebody just purposely jerk the wheel into the fucking ditch to try to kill themselves is nothing short of a miracle. I like somebody trapped in a fucking traffic jam on the bridge. If that bridge didn't have fucking guardrails on the side, I bet you they'd be having to salvage fucking 5 Toyota Corollas out of that fucking river a week. Fucking once a day getting a fucking Honda Civic out of that fucking shithole. Just with the person, and the person's just the person is just fucking like this. He's just like leaning back in his fucking seat with his hands behind his head. I'm free, just fucking careening over the edge of that fucking cliff, Inception style. About fucking right to go into that river, baby. Gone. Yeah, the drive to Albany is horrific. It's real bad. I just don't know how people do it, dude. You do it. I
don't drive to Albany.
Well, you do kind of an equivalent drive. You drive to fucking Syracuse every day.
45 minutes.
Oof.
It's fine.
5 minutes, bro.
I just sleep on the way there and way back. I've driven it so many times I just do it with my eyes closed, and sometimes I do.
It's so efficient. Yeah, I do that thing well that a lot of people do, where you just drop out and you don't know how you got to work. I do it every fucking day. I know you do it. We're just like, I don't know how. It's like talking heads. How did I get here?
This is not my beautiful house. Same
like,
as it ever was.
Yeah, but
same as it ever was.
Never has David Byrne made so. I mean, listen. The title of the documentary is called "Stop Making Sense." That dude's never made more sense to me. Working in the working world, being in the working world. Fucking days go by, and not the song by Dirty Vegas, but the song by Talking Heads is a gross testament to the nature of working in the same shit every day, every fucking day, dude. Repeat, just so you can buy your keyboards and your fucking lollipops and your fucking going out to eat money. It's the only thing you can do. You want to go out to eat? Yeah, let's go out to eat. That's what you do. You go through the week. You don't got anything else to do around here. Yo, you want to go get something to eat? That's what you got. Go get something to eat. Go to TGI Fridays. Go to the Chili's. Go to fucking 99. Go to the Uno. Third tier restaurants, as we called them. Oh, yeah. Third tier.
That was only last week too. It's 2 weeks in a row.
That's right. See, I pay attention. Pay attention. Make sure that comment. What?
This is like a goddamn double-decker semi going by or something.
Yeah, shit. I got some of that every once in a while. That's a guy who's sick of it, and he's just going down the road real fast, and he's gonna try to whip it around the corner so he fucking it's like crash mode in Burnout 3.
Just tip that son of a bitch right over.
He's trying to tip that semi over to cause the maximum amount of carnage he can. Make sure that shit explodes into a million pieces. Because he doesn't want to work, Dylan. He's just like the rest of us. He just wants to fucking go home and tend to his garden and have sex with his wife. That's all he wants to do.
While we're on the complaining track.
Oh, please complain to me.
What'd you think about the 30 Seconds to Mars album, Brent?
Oh, God. So, I listened to it, and I had gotten past the 2 singles. I knew what was happening, and I was like, okay, same as it ever was. And then, you get to, and then you go past the A$AP Rocky thing. That's real bad. And then you get to one where you're like, oh, all right, okay. What was that one?
Oh, that was the third one. I don't remember.
Okay, so
it was the third song. It was after the 2 singles.
Yeah, so you get there, and then you're like, oh, happy day. It's actually something that's kind of tolerable, but at the same time, they basically just ripped off every future-based production. Rescue Me was the name of that song.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, all right, okay.
Oh, I would like to. When I sent you that song and said what the fuck, it was like not like this is bad, but it was more of, well, because of this is proof positive you're never gonna get This Is War again right here, because they took the step from the last album. They took that, or they went like a little harder in the electronic area than This Is War, because This Is War still had a little bit of it, but then that was just like the solidification of, oh no, we're not only gonna sprinkle it in, we're diving head first.
What we'd like to call it is the Maroon 5ification of 30 Seconds to Mars, where it's what used to be a band for the first three records, creating U2-esque sound textures and epic
Stadium rock.
production, stadium rock with, it occasionally had an electronic element, really only to strengthen the size
Yes.
of the production. That's all it was. It was there just in the same way that it was with a band like U2. That's pretty much what they were on This Is War. They were U2. It was big, wide open guitars, lots of delay, and I mean, even Tom DeLonge. Fucking, you get Angels and Airwaves. They were U2 on I Empire. So it's like they had the same. It was like the same thing. You get to This Is War, and it's like, okay, this is great. It's like U2. It's all big sounding. Voices are real clear. They've recorded it really well. The production's real great. There's all different. It's awesome. There's the song structures are really good. There's so much going on. The epicness doesn't feel contrived in any way. Andrew WK made a better epic record this year than 30 Seconds to Mars did. That, like, you can listen to that new Andrew WK record and get to the end of it and have similar feelings that you had at the end of This Is War, where you were like, oh.
Do you think that the epicness didn't feel contrived because it was the first time they went full like epicness? And
I had thought about
it's
that.
Just like,
yeah,
that's just what they sound. That's just their sound. So that's what you're getting now, and it just feels like more contrived. But really, it's just them at the same time.
Maybe to answer your question with another question, it's sort of like, does it err on the side of me? Well, here's the thing. It's like the last time you really thought that the band that you really like made the best record that they ever made may be more influenced by what was going on in your life rather than what was going on in theirs. There's certainly something to be said about the timing of something versus what it actually, when they put it out, you were feeling a certain way. Maybe you were more easily influenced by the type of sound that they had created.
Sure. That's anything.
Yes, but I think for me, I would love to know from someone's perspective that had never heard 30 Seconds to Mars before. Like if there was somebody who objectively was like, I've literally never listened to their music before. What's a good track that I should get acquainted with them with?
You start to wonder because these newer songs have gotten more radio play than anything that they've done before. I guess,
Water,
except the Kill.
Right. That Walk on Water song and the Dangerous Night song, the two singles off of it. Jared Leto's been on fucking The Ellen Show more goddamn times during the course of these last two records than he'd ever been on any record before that. Atomic Punk Jared Leto wasn't going on no fucking Ellen DeGeneres for This Is War. Oddly enough, This Is War was where the most hardcore fans found themselves to be at home because it was the first time they'd ever been involved. Then they strip all of that out, and then you end up with the most radio play that they'd ever, iHeartRadio music fucking festival shit. They're headlining everything. So yes, I did wonder while listening to this record, thinking to myself, like, this record sounds so overpolished, so overdone, way too fucking like all over the place, and just seems like, again, another attempt at trying to ride whatever current wave we're on. Trap,
okay,
future bass,
so
whatever.
Kind of building off of that, it's, to me, sounded like there was a separate record stuck in the middle.
Yes.
Of like this other record.
Yep.
I think from what, even like Dangerous Nights and Walk on Water fit in like the separate record from the what would we say it was called? That one song,
Rescue Me.
"Rescue Me," from
Now but there's another one too. So you go
well, the
Rescue Me,
Hazley song's pretty good. The one with Hazley and
Halsey.
Halsey, yeah, I like that
That
one
sounds
too.
like Muse to me.
Um,
Uh,
and the one with ASAP Rocky could have been good. Like his part was good in it, but the rest of it sucked.
well, think about the other times they did that. You know, they did Hurricane. Um,
Yeah,
they're
from Rescue Me to Hail to the Victor, I think was like a separate album.
yeah, Great Wide Open to me. Great Wide Open sounds like
Do or Die.
yeah, or even maybe a little older. Like it had the characteristic of not
I
feeling so artificial.
see. I knew it was going. Like I watched I think he was on Good Morning America, and he was talking to someone, and he played it for him, and I'm like, oh shit! Like that was the first taste of the album that I got. That wasn't the
Great
first.
Wide Open?
No. Yeah. I'll send
Yeah.
you the clip later. It was like some Good Morning America, and he played it for him. Like, shit, this kind of sounds like it
Like
could be
we're
off of
heading
This Is
back
War.
to-
I wonder if we're
right.
gonna. And then you listen to it, and you're like, well, that was the only one. But okay, and then another. Oh, I just wanted to get this out because this was the other
Go.
thing. I felt that there was just two albums, like one like jammed in the middle of a separate album, and then what you said, them riding the wave of like the future bass or whatever. I felt like they tried to do that the last album, but they didn't nail it because they tried to do it themselves, and this time they're just like, let's just get the people that know how to do this to do it for us. Because
Right.
I looked at the production credits for each album. The first album was just
Flood.
well, no, it was just them,
Right.
and like maybe like a couple other ones, but like nothing really that sticks out. This album, Dangerous Designs, Dangerous Minds was produced by Zed.
Yep.
Hail to the Victor was Yellow Claw.
Yep.
And there's like one other one that Rescue Me was another DJ. Like they actually worked with people on this one to get the sound right, so that's why it sounds right as opposed to the last album, which fell flat because it seemed like they were trying to do it themselves but didn't know what made those songs, pop or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's the same.
They took their head
It's
out
the
of their
same
ass and
fucking-
were like, let's just
Yeah.
maybe get the people that could do this right to do it.
It's the same thing. It's the same struggle that I have about thing that you try to record yourself. Like the identity of it. It's like when they did Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams, they were, like you said, they were trying to do something that was of the moment, and they were trying to produce it themselves with very little intervention on how to do that. The albums that they created before that were just them, and they sounded like them. They were built on the instruments that those people knew how to play. They were built on fucking acoustic guitars. I mean, even in an interview with Jared Leto from a few years ago, they were talking to him about his writing process. What do you write all your songs on? Acoustic guitar. That's where but so if you're looking at fucking Rescue Me, and if you're looking at fucking Dangerous Night and all these other tunes, that shit doesn't sound like it was started on no fucking acoustic guitar.
The
I
only
can tell you
part
that.
that's written on the acoustic is maybe the fucking chord progression.
Yeah, like they're just jamming on it for a little while and thinking, but
Here's the melody, here's the progression.
yeah,
Now
that's about it. Produce the fuck out of it. The other thing too is the production of it. Well, there's two things. One, I'm really upset about the fact that the lyrics they're genuinely bad.
Yeah.
They're 100. But the thing that I thought in my head was, oh, am I just thinking that the lyrics on This Is War are better because everything else was better? But I think they are better. There's something to be said about, well, and if you watch the documentary, it proves it. How can you write a good record that people will connect with, that people will find the lyrics interesting, whatever it is, whatever their reasoning is. How will you do that when nothing bad happens to you? Because that's what people that when does Taylor Swift make her best songs? When she broke up with some douchebag, when she got her heart broken, when people get their hearts broken, when fucked up shit happens to them, it provides them with lyrical content. At the time of the creation of This Is War, Jared Leto, the band, whatever, were going through a legal battle for the publishing rights to their music and trying to get out of their contract and trying to become a more independent force in music. And so now, okay, here we go. Now you got this. Now you have this catalyst. I got this concept for an album, and it's going to be us fighting this war to get back our own shit.
It's very much in the same as A Day to Remember. I think Bad Vibrations was like the same.
So when you have a band that's either like, let's say it's like a return. Let's say it's like a return to form. Here's a good example. The album Firepower by Judas Priest. I listened to the whole thing from beginning to end the last time I drove home, and it is easily probably going to be the best metal record this year. Easily. It is fucking unreal. Their production on it is like better than modern metal, like people doing it now. And it's a bunch of 60 and 70-year-old dudes. And they are fucking destroying. I mean, it's got the craziest hooks. And the lyrics are cheesy. It's all about death and fucking all Satan and, all the things that metal music is about.
What's cheesy about Satan? The fuck? What's he making a quesadilla?
Not even really in the way that he's like. Rob Halford has such an unbelievable delivery on it that you're like, yeah, firepower,
Satan.
Yeah,
fucking right, Satan.
Like one of the lyrics is like something like, I'm gonna take Satan and I'm gonna rip off his face. And I'm just like, yeah.
No, you're not,
sure.
But all right.
No, I believe you. I believe everything you say. The thing is, with this record, I don't believe a fucking thing that he says. I don't believe a single thing that comes out of his mouth with what he's talking about. It's flat. It's super vapid. You can't have a production as epic as you have it at the bar that you have set so high and then just be like, it's now or never. We have to fight this. We're going to go to battle. It's like Dragon Force has been doing it for 10 fucking years. And it doesn't work for them. You can't just keep doing that over and over. You can't just keep being like, if the album was America, the album was called America. The front cover of the record has Kim, Justin, Jesus, Michael, Mickey, Donald on it, right? If your thought behind the record was, which is what a lot of musicians have thought, wow, what a crazy year. Things have pissed me off. I don't particularly like what's happening in the cultural lexicon right now. I don't particularly like what's happening in the political arena right now. Maybe I should write some angry music about that. And people find much success with doing that. It's a perfectly legitimate concept to write a record about.
You want to know something? When I saw that cover, I rolled my eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, great. He's going to try to say something. And I know he's not going to be able to say anything.
He didn't. He doesn't say anything. Look, there's... Okay.
It's very much the argument that everyone's having about Far Cry 5 right now. They build it as something that's going to say something, and it just doesn't say anything.
Exactly. Look, if you're looking at what we're talking about on the record, right? And if you only judged it by the titles of the tracks, not a single one of the maybe the only couple tracks on the record that could be said as something stating America or something about America is Hail to the Victor and Dawn Will Rise.
Walk on
And
Water.
well,
That's
if
very much
if your whole
a
thing is
reference to like Jesus being bigger than God or whatever, you know what I mean?
well, so like right. I totally get that. But I think if you're
And Monolith, I could see that, but that's just
it's the fucking instrumental.
yeah. Maybe
It's the
it
fucking
should have
Inception
all been
soundtrack. They just took a bunch of those Inception stabs.
They got the goddamn Native Instruments contact library and went to town with it.
Jesus Christ. Like, they just called up Junkie XL and was like, can you write like 30 seconds or tear 30 seconds from your trailer music and just put that on here? And like, Love is Madness featuring Halsey. Okay. So Love is Madness. Wow. I've never heard that before. Maybe in that song by Muse called Madness about how love is madness. Or maybe in fucking the 5,000 other tracks that have talked about how mad love is. Because we know we got bad blood and we know we got mad love. Yeah, love is fucked up. That's one of those, and then, so again, the only tracks that stand out are the ones that, for some reason, maybe have something different to say. Even Rescue Me. I've heard that a million times. I've heard Rescue Me a million times. Just Shine Down. Somebody save me. Somebody come and save me. Fucking
Hey,
Dangerous.
that song came out like 16 years ago, all right? No one remembers that anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But listen, I still remember Sound of Madness, and it's fucking better than this record.
I mean, Sound of Madness is better than a lot of records.
There ain't nothing probably better in the modern rock lexicon than fucking Sound of Madness. I mean, it's top 10 at least.
I feel like don't judge a book by its cover doesn't really work with music because usually the cover of the album is part of the album. And when you're throwing out something that's in your face as that cover,
yeah,
then you better be able to back it up.
They didn't really. They didn't back it up. They didn't create a concept like
because it shows that that's the concept of the album. And
right.
Maybe 2 or 3 songs on the album have
exemplify
anything to do
what
with
they're
it.
talking about.
Yeah. It's like, why'd you even bother? Just for the clicks? Did you do it for the clicks?
Well, so and then you got
because you didn't do it for your SEO because that's the worst album title name.
Like so here's like if you give this a little bit of an example. So like, okay, The Kill over time on Spotify. So if you look at Spotify right now, it's a sea of pink.
As it usually is, songs. Yeah, sure.
The Kill has 125 million views or plays. Dangerous Night has 10 million. Walk on Water has 45 million. One Track Mind has 2 million, and Rescue Me has 1.4 million. So
here's a little bit going a little bit deeper into this. Walk on Water, the first single off this album, has 45 million. Closer to the Edge, the third single off of This Is War, has 48 million.
Right. And that's been given a lot of time to sort of, I mean, think about okay, let's look at the songs.
I mean, sure, about 200,000 times is me. And another 200,000 for you.
Yep. Sure is.
But
so if I think about the songs on This Is War, the ones that are legitimately ones that you play over.
Well, hold up, because I just want to, because you can't even say it has more to do with time, because From Yesterday only has 31 million plays.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not like stuff like this just coagulates over time. It's basically once it comes out, how many listens it gets, and then it
Then it
stagnates.
tapers.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like it's not gonna get much more than that.
Um, Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams.
It's not even on the
It
the
has
popular.
it, and I remember Up in the Air making somewhat of a impact, kind of, and then Do or Die making just a little bit more than that. That would have been the two tracks on the record where you'd notice it,
Yeah.
you'd seen it in media or whatever. Everything else is
Oh,
nothing.
City of Angels, they play that at like award shows and stuff.
That's true. Yes, that you're right. And City of Angels on that record was probably as close to a 30 Seconds to Mars modern experience as one would probably be able to get.
Yeah.
At
They
least
like to
going
throw
in
like
the, in
one
the
of those in
electronic
there.
era. Yeah. There's a couple, like I would say probably City of Angels, and then there was one other. I mean,
Bright
Do or Die is
Lights.
pretty close.
Bright Lights is kind
Um,
of.
but it's upsetting because I have a lot of I put a lot of stock in the experiences that I had when that record first came out. I remember where I was and what I was doing when I had first heard Kings and Queens for the first time ever. That was a very like I don't think people realize truly how good of a record that was. People who were not, you know what I mean, like who didn't like listen to that type of music at the time.
Mm-hmm.
As big as they are now in the pop world, relatively speaking, they were not big at all when This Is War came out.
Well,
The venues that we went and saw them at were a testament to that.
there's like a 3-year gap in between
Yeah.
This Is War and A Beautiful Light. Or wait, maybe even longer than that.
The
2005 to 2000. Yeah, 3 years. So any will that they gathered from the Beautiful Lie was pretty much gone. Any of that goodwill, like hypeness.
and I mean the kill. The thing is, there was 2 points. There was like when you first hear the kill, it's like, oh wow, you're in the post My Chemical Romance era. You've heard the kill. You've heard From Yesterday. From Yesterday is one of the most. It's one of the most like powerfully epic stadium rock songs, I can think of. It doesn't even sound like U2. It sounds like something larger. It's got a lot more. It's got a lot more rock in it. It's got a lot more metal in it. It's got a lot of things in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so there was almost two. The kill when you hear From Yesterday, when you hear Beautiful Lie. Oh my God, this band is so epic, so huge, so big. And then the first time that I ever heard Kings and Queens, I thought it was U2. I had heard the first opening riff with the delayed piano and sort of that, that little pulse backline. And I was in the car. I had just started. Where the hell was I? I think I was working at the Y, and I was up here. And either I was up here or I was visiting or something, and I was in my Civic, maybe even before that, maybe in the Neon I was in, and I was listening to it, and it was very early in the morning. I remember it was a really nice day. I was at a gas station. I turned the car on. I was sitting in the gas station, just got gas, and I heard that song come on, and I was like, "Oh, it must be a new U2 song." And then it kicked in, and I was like, "Holy fuck! What the hell are they doing?" And then after they said it was 30 Seconds to Mars, and I was like, "The Kill 30 Seconds to Mars did this?"
Them guys?
I could not believe it. And then you saw it, and then funnily enough, they got on that Sunkiss commercial. That was the next time that I had heard it. There was a commercial for Sunkissed, fucking orange soda. and that was on that was on there. They had licensed it, and it was a bunch of people on the beach having fun and drinking fucking sodas, and Kings and Queens was playing, and I was like, oh my god, this song is the licensing juggernaut because it gives you a feeling of like there's a certain feeling in it. There's a very, very specific feeling that they've elicited with this song that doesn't exist on some of this other shit. It doesn't transport you anywhere. Even the video. The video for Kings and Queens will still go down in history for me as one of the most appropriate music videos that you could possibly ever see. That matches the content of the song perfectly. It's a uniquely Los Angeles song. Just in the same way that the sun's like you listen to music that comes out of the Sunset Strip, this is a uniquely Sunset Strip experience you're having with this music. It makes you think of like, you know, fucking go west, young man. It makes you think that you can do bigger things. It's got just a bigger feel to it. It's upsetting because it's probably holds more in nostalgia for me than it's worth now. It's like, you know, at the time, you know, you're in college, you've heard this record, it's like, oh my God, it's so monumental, it's so epic. It's, you know, you go and see them a bunch of times. You're huge fans of these guys because it's a hopeful feeling. And then, you know, you hear these next few records and it's like they've tried to distill whatever this is, or they've tried to rehash it or whatever, and it just doesn't. It can't. How could it? How could these records measure up to how much stock I put into them, you know, 6 or 7 years ago? There's no fucking way. So that's probably part of it. That's why I would be curious to know what somebody now thinks of this record, not really in terms of like pop, or if there's somebody out there that's so fucking obsessed with this record. It happened to me with Bring Me the Horizon.
There's no one is obsessed with any record anymore, so
yeah, that's true. I mean, it's weird that it's weird that as late as 2010 we were still thinking about records when a lot of people cite the end of the record in like the, you know, a few years earlier than that, 2004, 2005. People are thinking this is the end of the record. It's all about singles now. But I was still listening to records. I was still listening to entire records in the 2010s, 2009, 2010, because bands at the time were putting out some pretty fucking amazing records. You know, like college for me had so much great music in it. It had Kill Switch Engage, it had Mastodon, it had 30 Seconds to Mars, it had the most epic Kill Switch Engage.
Asher Roth, like you were a big fan of him, right?
I used to make fun of that so much. I loved that. Fucking, I love college. And I love drinking. It's got to be because it's formative. It's got to be because of the same reason why we love what we love. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks that it's that way. I wish I could erase it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could erase
part of
it
somewhat. Yeah, but would you like to erase it and have your first experience be this fucking album with 30 Seconds to Mars?
No, because you're taking a huge gamble. You're taking such a huge gamble in the theoretical realm of being able to erase something that you hold in such high regard in the hopes that the subsequent efforts put forth by this artist are good and you don't have to think about what they were before. But I think, I don't, you know, it sucks. It really does. But what it really gives me is like that one record. It's amazing. That fucking one record. And there are a lot of bands.
Is pretty good too.
A Beautiful Lie is a fucking amazing record too. I'm just saying that like all the pieces were in place. All the planets aligned. And that's what I think made it as important as it was to me, because it's a record that comes out at a time where you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you don't know where the fuck you're going, and then you get this record that's like, yeah, 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 I get that. That makes me feel like and then you sort of move forward.
Yeah, you move forward. Now you're stuck in a office building where everything looks the same. Every day's the same. You turn on your favorite artist, and every song sounds the same, and everything's the same.
Every day is exactly the same.
Yeah, that's that song from that hit movie Wanted, right?
Ooh. The 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 record that sort of did that again for me, I was in like a fucking miserable period. Um was Bring Me the Horizon, was That's the Spirit. That sort of made me feel
Little
like,
irony in that.
yeah, there is. That's what I loved so much about that record, was how deliciously ironic it was, how sassy it was, how fucking like full of attitude it was, and how big it was. For me, that was like, oh, this is my next 30 Seconds to Mars, because it's big, it's angry, it's pissy. It's real, it's emo without being like, that emo. I mean, it's not Shadow Moses, but it's like, the next progression, taking what made Bring Me the Horizon good in the first place, and making it like larger, more expansive, and more poppy. That was good. Like, I was like, that's what I was
Oh
looking for.
yeah, how funny that you bring up that album, the album that many people who were fans of Bring Me the Horizon
Hated them.
before hated it
Hated it.
because it turned into a radio rock. So
Yep, they did.
isn't it funny how you can have connections with one album a certain time in your life, and the changes that band makes don't
Yeah.
stick with you.
My
But to
sensibility. But
another,
listen,
there's your answer. There's your answer right there of
I,
how something like the new 30 Seconds to Mars album would stick with somebody if they've never heard a 30 Seconds to Mars, 30
yeah.
Seconds to Mars album before. They could love it just as much as you love That's the Spirit. And the way other people find it an abomination to Bring Me the Horizon,
Yeah.
who at a certain time in their career were
A lot of
making
people
fantastic metalcore. Like
a lot of people
some of the
thought fucking
best.
Crack the Sky was shit. This isn't Mastodon. Mastodon is fucking Blood and Thunder and fucking that other one. That's Leviathan. Leviathan is Mastodon. And I was like, bitch, that's not Mastodon. Mastodon is Crack the fucking Sky. And then there was one more after that one that was really good too. That was all space rock.
The Hunter?
That's good. That's Mastodon. Fucking the one that had Curl of the Burl on it.
The Hunter.
Yes. The Hunter and fucking Crack the Sky are 100% the two best Mastodon records, because they weren't trying to copy anything. Because like the initial was like thrash metal. They were just an answer to like, thrash metal with some psychedelia elements. And then it progressed a little bit forward. Progressive metal. Here we are. Now we've progressed into progressive metal, and they've put all the prog stuff in there, and they put all the metal in there, and they put all the thrash in there. And then they, you have the melodic stuff and sort of the times, and then you got it. You have what Mastodon should be. Big, epic, amazing shit. But I guess there's tons of people who are like, that Mastodon sucks balls. I loved the first two records better. Well, same thing with fucking Metallica. Black Album Metallica sucks balls. The first three records are better. It's like, maybe they might
better
be
than thrash albums.
They're the best thrash albums probably ever written. But are they the best metal records ever written? No, they're not. The best metal record ever written is fucking Firepower by Judas Priest.
Listen to me when
We're
say...
in a new era. Don't. I'm telling you. Go do me a favor. Do me a fucking favor when you get off the podcast. Just get your speakers rolling and turn on the Spectre.
Okay.
Turn on the Spectre.
I'll just listen to the whole thing.
Well, yeah, definitely. If you want to listen to the whole thing, I'll tell you what my highlights of the record were, just so that you have them sort of in mind as you're listening to it. The first track, Firepower, is fucking awesome. That's one of the best openers. It's kind of like Painkiller again, but like even better. And then fucking Spectre is fucking amazing. And then Necromancer is really fucking awesome. And Evil Never Dies is really good. And Flamethrower is really good.
You just named the whole album there, Brent.
No, there's 14 tracks on it.
Oh, holy shit.
I mean, and they're not, nothing's really like, you know, we're in the Metallica realm of like, you know, things are kind of breaking 4 minutes every few tracks. It's not anything nuts. But Spectre riff wise and like the atmosphere of it, I was like, oh my God, it's like fucking better than the second, third fucking Avenged Sevenfold records of how like riffy and awesome, and the solos. Oh my God, the solos are so good. KK Downing fucking rips on this thing, and the dude's got Parkinson's, and he's fucking wailing on it. That's probably why he's wailing on it. His hands are going fucking nuts. Fucking going insane. But yeah, go listen to that shit. That's a fucking banger.
So maybe music is just subjective?
Yeah, what have we learned today? I think what we've learned is that music is largely a product of how we're feeling at the time that we first listened to it, and the environment that we find ourselves in when we do listen to it.
And there's so much access to music that there's no reason to hate anything. Just fucking don't listen to it.
I think that, you know, the only difference between, you know, now and then is that, you know, we do have so much to listen to. You could find another 30 Seconds to Mars type experience if you really wanted to. I know one of them for me that stood out this year was One OK Rock, which was sort of like, okay, I kind of get it. They're doing a little bit of that. They're doing a little bit of that epic electro rock type stuff that's working somewhat. You know, not a immediate replacement, but you know, you find shit. There's shit around. So, you know, with that in mind, I think we solved the world's problems.
Good to hear. We didn't even get to our famous segment this week.
You know what? I still haven't played a lot of Bayonetta, so I think I
had some bangers in there.
Well, let's give ourselves some time. Give ourselves some time to regroup on the games.
And then you need time. You need time. I do my homework.
I need time.
I do my homework. You don't do your homework. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. It's the wedding, Dylan. It's the wedding. After
yeah.
the wedding, I had plenty of time to ruin my life playing fucking video games.
Can't ruin what's already broke.
Boom! You can't ruin what's already broke. That's a good way to end it. Oh. Remember. Everything is below this. Everything is below everything.
Below me. Get it?
Below me.
That sounds like
everything's below me.
Zing zang, wiggity wang.
Smash that like button.
Don't.
Swiggity swooty. I'm coming for that booty. This is and has been and will forever be the Jacket Off podcast. Listen to Firepower. It's the greatest.
To America.
Listen to America just because. Listen to America, listen to Firepower. Which is the better record about America? The answer is Firepower. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow. Oh, it's about America. Okay. It's about the best type of America. That's been the Jacket Off podcast, America.